recorded, all the sessions. So if you want to have access to them, they'll be back on our website at the end of this. And then just make sure to keep yourself muted during the presentation unless directed otherwise. We encourage you to use the chat for questions or comments. Now, I would like to introduce you to our presenter, Heidi, for the Got Debt Throw Snowball. So Heidi, Rowan University's Director of Financial Aid, is one of only 173 nationally certified financial aid administrators. She has held a variety of high-profile positions, including working for the U.S. Department of Education with regulatory oversight of schools in the Mid-Atlantic region. As a former Pell Grant recipient and first-generation college student herself, she has dedicated her 30-year career serving students and families as a mission and paying it forward. Heidi holds a Bachelor of Science in Sociology from the University of Wisconsin-Madison and a Master of Science in Economics from the University of Nebraska-Omaha. So that's a little bit about Heidi, and I'm going to pass it over to her.
All right. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I will also add that I have used the snowball method myself a couple of times, and quite frankly, I've been to what I affectionately call credit card hell a couple of times. So I hope that this information is helpful to you, and with that, we'll jump right in. So I want you to know that today, 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and over 44% have reported that they would not be able to afford a $400 emergency if it came up. So winning with money is 80% behavior and 20% knowledge. Your ability to build wealth is dependent upon you not owing others. Your ability to weather an unexpected unemployment or to make the decision to have one parent stay at home with your children, your ability to live where you want or get the job that you want, can sometimes be negatively impacted by your bill-paying behaviors and your decisions. So I'm going to show you a way to organize your monthly payments in a way that will quickly eliminate your debt without you feeling deprived each month. You'll see your progress quickly, and that will help motivate you to stay on track. So what we're talking about today is that 30% green mark there, that is the amounts owed on your credit cards. And it makes up 30% of your credit score. And if you combine that with your payment history, you'll see that just those two categories make up over half of your score. So paying down your debt is going to be a really quick way to increase your score. And know that credit card companies want to see you keep that utilization below 30%. Okay, come on. So why is all of this important, and what makes up this category? It's all about risk and predictability about future repayment. As your balances increase, so does the probability that you'll have difficulty meeting your monthly expenses and paying on time. A larger number of accounts with amounts owed on it indicate a higher risk of being overextended, and paying down installment loans is a good sign that you're able and willing to manage to repay debt. But more importantly, on a personal level, how much stress are you experiencing based on your level of debt? So imagine a proven method, this is proven, method of alleviating the stress while improving your credit score. Would you give it a shot? A snowball, what exactly is a snowball? A snowball is, let's say you have just a small amount of extra money that you can put towards your bill paying. So in this example, let's say you have $50 you can eke out of your budget and put it towards your bills. Doesn't sound like it's going to make a whole lot, but if you organize your bills in this way, you will see quick progress. So let's take your $50 snowball and you're going to apply it with the minimum payment that is due on your smallest bill. And you're going to keep paying that extra $50 on that smallest bill until that's paid in full. So if your, say your minimum payment is $27, instead of paying the $27, you're going to pay $77 onto that account until it's paid in full. And then here's where the magic happens. When that one's paid in full, you're going to take that $77 and add it on to the next largest balance. So let's say that's $35. You're going to take the 77 and the 35, that's 117, and you're going to apply that onto the next bill. And so you can see as your snowball is getting larger as it's rolling down on your debt. And you're not really feeling anything extra out of your budget other than that $50 that you initially felt you could come up with. You can always, of course, increase your snowball when your circumstances change. So I have this spreadsheet. This spreadsheet is loaded onto our website, the financial aid website. We have a financial literacy page. You can ask Susan, our new digital assistant, to find it for you. If you just type in Snowball into Susan's search box, she'll bring you right to the page. I will tell you that there are macros loaded onto this spreadsheet. And so we were not able to post it as a direct link. It's a downloadable file. Please make sure to download it and save it as a copy onto your computer before you use it. You don't want to share your debt with everybody else. So it's very easy to use. You're going to enter your information in the white boxes, and there's hints available for you. If you hover over each one of the little red triangles, there's hints on how to complete the spreadsheet. And the sort order column here, you can force it to move in the sort order that you want. So let's say you have a creditor who's a major pain in your neck and you want to get rid of them first, even though they're maybe not your smallest balance, but you just want them out of your life. You can put them on the sort order here. You check the sort order box and click the snowball and it'll calculate for you. The little box here that says show steps, if you want to watch it actually calculate and move through all of the payment iterations, you can do that. It's just kind of a fun thing that people like. I have a note here about avalanche method. If you've done some Googling on these methods, there's the snowball method that we're talking about, and then the avalanche method. Avalanche method is where you would use this sort order and put it in interest rate order, highest interest rate first, regardless of the balance owed. It will save you probably a couple of dollars in interest if you go avalanche method. But here's the problem. If your largest interest rate is also your largest balance, it's going to take you a long time before you see some progress and feel like you're really actually making progress getting something paid off. And behavioral economics will tell you that that is not as successful as paying down a smaller debt and actually seeing that, hey, I have a card paid in full. I'm good to go. So where to find your interest rates? You will find that sometimes on your apps that creditors do not put the interest rates right on the app where it's easy for you to see. You might have to actually download your paper statement from that creditor to get your interest rate. So refer to your monthly statements for your interest rate. And I'm gonna slide over this spreadsheet and see. So did the spreadsheet come up on the screen that I'm sharing? No, okay, hang on, I gotta change my screens. It's the Zoom part of life. All right, so now are you seeing the, perfect, thank you. So I've pre-filled this, it'll be blank when you download the file on our website. So if you started this in May 21, I put in some bills here and we'll put $50 as what we can afford as our initial snowball. And it will ignore sort order unless I check this box. But see, there's the little hints. If you hover over, it'll tell you all the little hints for things. And if you calculate the snowball, it calculates it. And did the page change for you guys also? Awesome. So you can see how it's paying everything down, and it will take you just under 4 years to get everything paid off, including your car loan in this example, which is pretty exciting, an $18,000 loan. And if you scroll down here to the bottom, you can, if you're curious, if you're one of those data geeks and you want to see, you can put your auto sum on. You have to tell it F2, you know, and put the other F in. Always works better. F214. Really? Put the sum. Put a sum in there. That works better. So it'll tell you how much total interest you're going to pay over the 4 years. It can be quite shocking, but much less than what you would normally pay if you paid those minimum payments all along. All right, so we'll move that out of the way. We'll come back. All right. So I know rolling with a spreadsheet is old school. And there's an app for that. I recommend this app because it's free. It's very easy to use. I've used this app actually for several years myself personally. It's very easy to use. There are fancier apps out there, but the fancier apps do charge money and they try to sell you things and you have to make an account. With this thing, it is truly just a calculator. You do not have to create an account. It's completely anonymous. They don't email you or pester you. If in the App Store you search for loan what if, it will come up. Look for the piggy bank. This developer does offer other little apps, including a debt snowball app. The debt snowball app costs $2.99, but you can run your own snowball on this application itself. So it's very simple. Once you download it, you're just going to enter the information in the little white boxes. So you're going to put in the loan amount. The crazy thing about the monthly payment is you know your monthly payment when you look at the at your statement, but you don't know how many years or months is going to take you to pay it off based on that minimum payment. The way the app works, you have to actually put in the amount of time and get it to get to the monthly payment. So you have to kind of fiddle around with it a little bit. And it's pretty shocking when you see how long your creditor thinks you should take to pay off your bill. So for instance, truly a $760 credit card at 26.99% is going to take you 3 years and 8 months to pay it if you make only the minimum payment. And it's going to cost you a total of that. Sorry about that. All right, how far back did the unmuting happen?
You muted for a second.
Okay. Thanks. So when you enter the information, so you enter your amount, you fiddle around with the years and months, you enter the interest rate, and it'll calculate this monthly payment. So you know the monthly payment, you got to fiddle around with the years and months in order to get it down to that amount. All right. This is how much it's going to cost you to repay that. You can save your credit card or save your loan amount as a file, and it'll build a favorites list, which is pretty helpful. And you can see here that if you made a minimum payment of about $27, it is going to take you 44 months to pay it off. And it's going to cost you $445 in interest. And you can see that on the payment table amount that it'll calculate for you. So that's kind of discouraging. However, let's throw a snowball at it. So now, same exact terms, we're only going to add the $50 that we can afford to pay. It is going to save you $336 to just make that $50 extra payment. It's going to cut off 2 years and 8 months from the repayment of the debt. You're going to totally repay $868, but remember you owe $760 to start with. And on the payment table, you will see it's only going to cost you $108 to get it paid off by paying the $50. So you've saved 76% of the interest just by making that $50 payment. More importantly, you're going to have it paid off in a year instead of 4 years, and you can then roll that money onto your next debt. Of course, this goes without saying that the only way that's really going to be effective is if you don't go back and start spending on this credit card. So step away from the credit card. Once you get it paid off, put it away, especially when it's at 26.99%. This should be like the emergency card only, death and dying circumstances, not dinner at the Landmark. All right, so some tips for success. Here are some of the things that have worked for me personally. In addition to using that app, is I put all of my bill due dates and the minimum amounts that are due on my calendar on my phone. And I also have my payday on my calendar and on my phone, although you would think that you know this by heart. But when life gets really busy, it's good to be able to say, okay, so this is my payday, and here are the bills that are coming up. And on that payday, pay all the bills that are due in the next 2 weeks. That way you don't accidentally, oops, I accidentally spent my paycheck before I paid the bill. Trust me, you're in a safe zone right now. You should always try to negotiate the interest rates with your credit card holders, especially right now in the era of COVID. Creditors are especially interested in helping you get on track and stay on track. So it doesn't hurt to call and say, hey, I'd like an interest rate reduction. Try not to, though, have them close your accounts in exchange for a settlement. You don't want to do that because they'll put it on your credit report as closed by creditor. And closing your accounts actually makes you look maxed out because your credit lines come down. And unless your debt is also coming down, it all of that does is bring that credit utilization ratio higher. And so that will immediately hurt your credit score. So don't do that. You just want an interest rate reduction. I always recommend if you qualified for a 0% special deal, like, you got a Best Buy credit card and you're doing 24 months for your new computer or TV or stereo, whatever. Don't include those in your Snowball, because the Snowball software, especially if you're using the spreadsheet to track it, it might pick the 0% as the credit card that you should apply your extra payments to, and you really don't want to do that. Not the best use of your funds. Instead, if you get a 0% deal, divide your balance by the number of months or the number of paychecks that you have until your deal expires, and then make those payments religiously. Consider using your tax refund to help pay down. On that spreadsheet, there was a place where you could put an initial amount of money, and also in that app, there's an initial amount of money that you can stick in there. So right here, if you want to add an amount per month, you could just put a single dollar amount and then recalculate. Try to put away some money for an emergency savings account if you can. Before you start paying down your debt, it's always good to have some cash set aside in case something comes up, so you don't have to go back to using your credit card. And then again, just do not close your credit card accounts. And so that is the Snowball method of paying down your debts. by all means, I'm going to load this spreadsheet to our website. The recording will be available through the Expo's webpage. We're also loaded under the financial literacy website. If you have any questions personally that you want to ask or want some guidance or input, please feel free to reach out to me personally. I'm more than happy to help you. Know that, believe me, I've been in your shoes more than one time, unfortunately. It happens to the best of us. Just know that if you organize your payments, you can make really good progress on this. It does really feel great to get your bills paid off to where you know what, I only have my monthly expenses to pay. I only have my rent and my telephone and utilities to pay. And so I'm able to have a little extra cash when I get my paycheck, or feel like I can make some choices that before, when you're kind of caught up in a debt cycle, you don't have as many choices of what you can choose to do with your money. So with that, is there any general questions anybody has? No? Okay. I'm really glad you guys joined me. Please feel free, if you have any questions, to reach out to me personally. I'm more than happy to help you with this.
Thank you so much, Heidi. So I guess just in closing, I am going to put the link so you can make sure that if you're interested in attending any other sessions, continuing into today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So that link is there, just directing you back to the website where you register. We do encourage you to attend as many sessions as you'd like, and we are offering in-person activities on the intramural field tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. And then just lastly, you can visit the Row and Thrive website, which also just dropped that link, or Prof link, to learn about the various dimensions of well-being and all of the programs and services and offerings for you. So thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate it, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Take care.